What is going on, guys? Text message here. Hope everyone today got a brand new video for you guys. Today we are doing the build video for Ant-Man. If you guys didn't watch the gameplay, go ahead and watch it. It will be in my playlist, or you can look at my channel. So let's get right into his abilities to start. So his natural passive is the Quantum Ray. Ant-Man's basic attacks will unleash quantum rays in front of him every 10 seconds, dealing plus 100% physical attack, dealing physical damage to enemies in the ray's path while shrinking and silencing them for 4 seconds. Damage dealt by Ant-Man to shrunken enemies and it is increased by 20%. Ant-Man cannot trigger this effect under Giant State. I think this is actually a very cool passive because it gives him a long range ability or attack, whatever you want to call it, every once in a while, every 10 seconds. So if people are running away and that type of thing, you're a little bit slower, I think this is a great way to give him that little advantage by giving him a long range attack. So getting to the first one here, Ant Charge. Ant-Man charges towards a specified position, dealing 30 physical damage plus 50% physical attack to enemies in range and his path. This one's an alright ability. It's the first ability, so I wasn't expecting too much. I used it a little bit here and there. It just never really did a lot of damage that it was worth using over and over again. So let's get into the second one here. Alright, I just sneezed, so I had to cut that out. Ant-sized. Ant-Man shrinks himself and summons a flying ant to ride, increasing movement speed by 20% for 5 seconds. Ant-Man's HP bar is hidden from the enemy during this time and he becomes untargetable. His physical attack is reduced by 60% and attack speed is increased by 0, so it doesn't increase. And each basic attack reduces ant charges cooldown by 0.5 seconds. During his shrunken state, the ability can be used again after 0.5 seconds to dispel his shrunken status. He cannot grow giant while in the shrunken state. I've used this quite often actually to get away from enemies and whatnot. And the 20% movement speed increase doesn't really do a whole lot, so I don't recommend it too much, but I do recommend it on the side that you can't get hit. So if you are weak and you need to run away, I would definitely use this because you can't get hit. You can attack while you're in this state, but it is reduced by 60%, so it's not really going to do a whole lot, but you might be able to get a couple hits in here and there. Let's go into the next one now, Super Soldier, which is one of my favorite abilities that I've actually used in this game so far. Ant-Man leaps into the air where he stands and grows in size before landing back on the ground, dealing 65 physical damage plus 100% physical attack and briefly launching up enemies in range. He remains giant for 12 seconds, during which Ant-Man gains 30% physical attack and a significant increase to his attack range. He also gains 100 armor and 100 energy resist while his attack speed decreases. Moving while giant will slow nearby enemies by 20% each time Ant-Man's basic attack hits, reduces Ant Charge's cooldown by 2 seconds, but he does attack very slow, so you do gotta be careful about that. While giant, the ability can be used again after 0.5 seconds to dispel his giant status, unable to shrink under Giant State, but he does do a lot of physical damage when he's in this state. So when you knock him up and that first hit, if they're in the area where the circle is, his range, you could get off another hit on them and do a lot of damage with this. You guys should have seen that in the gameplay video. If you have seen it, if you haven't, like I said, go ahead and check it out. I got some really nice kills using Super Soldier. Huge fan of it, honestly. I really am. One of the best abilities. Just everything about it, honestly. The slowing down, the extra damage, the armor and energy resist. Just a whole bunch of great stuff in this ability, honestly. I just can't talk enough about it, you know what I'm saying? Last but not least, Flying Ant Swarm summons ants to attack. HP recovers once it ends. Damage 40, 60, 80, and I don't know what that last one is. Yeah, I can't click it or nothing. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But yeah, you got the cooldown and the damage, and you do recover HP. But of course, you need to kind of be near the enemies for this one here. So when you summon the ants, they'll be flying around and whatnot. You kind of have to be, you could be like a little bit outside your range, but you do got to be like kind of close for the ants to actually do anything. So let's get right into the gear set now. So first off, the boots. We always start off with the boots, guys, right? So we got the movement speed and the attack speed. I figured the movement speed maybe help a little bit in the super soldier state. I haven't tried it without, so I couldn't tell you if it works or not, but just overall movement speed anyways does help for most heroes. Next one, we got the dual blade. You guys know I love the HP steal for anybody that does physical damage. I think it's a great item to utilize early on, because when you're attacking enemies and you're bound, let's say you might get this around, I don't know, a level 8, 9 maybe less, something like that, I don't know, but you're pretty much at the same state as everybody else for the most part, unless you know you're feeding and getting a lot of kills and whatnot. But if you are feeding and whatnot, or maybe a level or two ahead, gaining back that HP while they're trying to attack you, major key. Alright, huge fan. Next one, we have the Stormbreaker. 900 HP, plus 70 physical attack, plus 15% cooldown reduction. The passive, your physical damage reduces the target hero's enemy armor by 4%, stacking up to 6 times and lasting 6 seconds. Move in the direction of an enemy hero who has been afflicted by the maximum number of stacks for an extra 40 movement speed boost. Adding in that movement speed, of course, I love adding in HP as well, kind of early on, kind of make your hero a little more tanky and able to withstand more blows from the enemy. Of course, adding the physical attack never hurts for a physical hero, and the cooldown reduction speaks for itself for our abilities. Next, we have the Starlight Armor. I want to add in a defensive item because of the super soldier where you get the 100 armor and 100 energy resist, so I wanted to add in a little buffiness to Ant-Man here. So plus 700 armor, plus 190, plus 700 HP, plus 190 armor, 10% cooldown reduction. Your next basic attack after using ability will deal an additional 50 physical damage, plus 10 times the level, plus 5% bonus max HP for 1.5 second cooldown. Thinking about this in the next basic attack after an ability, thinking of course about the super soldier once again, where he has an attack increase off the rip, and adding this in, it kind of gives like a double layer for the attack increase. Does it work? Has it been proven? I have no clue. That's just my thought process on this one here. Let's get into the next one here now. Sky Shadows, plus 45% attack speed, plus 25% crit rate, plus 7% movement speed. Passive, basic attacks deal an extra physical damage to additional 2 enemy units, plus 30% physical attack. Any of the attack speed, once again, is always helpful, because the faster we can attack, the more HP we can gain back from our dual blade here. Crit rate, it's always good to get those crits in, sometimes dealing probably double, maybe triple the damage of what you're normally hitting with. So it just gives you a little advantage. And of course, movement speed, always want to be breezing around the map, getting to where you need to go as quickly as possible. Night Sword, plus 500 HP, plus 100 physical attack, plus 5% cooldown reduction. I think that brings us to about 30% cooldown reduction. Max cap might be at 40%. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I've heard. Passive, your next basic attack after using an ability will deal an additional plus 200% basic physical attack, physical damage, and you will gain 60% speed boost, which decays over 1.5 seconds. Literally everything in this gear set kind of ties in together, and most of the items I use here, of course, if you watch my other build videos, are in my other heroes. I kind of have like a, not like a routine, but a preference on what I like to, I just hit my mic, what I like to use on my heroes, and I have to say most of the time it works. I do change stuff around here and there. Like I might change around the armor, go to the AoE, the glorious armor, I'll definitely keep the dual blade for the most part, but these other attack ones I'll definitely change around depending on the hero and what I'm looking for. But it's basically the same thing. Always got the boots, the dual blade for the physical. Get 3 physical items that'll give me like physical attack increase or and something with HP, that type of thing, and attack speed. Those are basically my bottom line items I want to see in most of my heroes. But if you guys did enjoy me rambling on about this, be sure to drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new, leave a comment down below on your thoughts on this build set. Of course, you don't have to use any of these items here. I'm just showing you guys what I used for my gameplay. But with that said and done, be sure to follow my social medias popping up on the screen as always. And yeah, guys, I'm out. Have a wonderful day. Peace.